Ladies and gentlemen, the 1989 recipient of the Life Achievement Award, Gregory Peck.
The American Film Institute Life Achievement Award was first presented 25 years ago in this room at this place to John Ford. When the ceremonies were shown on television, an intense young man here in town trying to get his directing career started watched on a small black and white television set in his motel room. That young man succeeded in becoming a director, a remarkable director. And tonight, he becomes the recipient of the Life Achievement Award, joining other director greats such as Orson Welles, William Wyler, Alfred Hitchcock, Frank Capra, Billy Wilder, and David Lean. Martin Scorsese once said with telling simplicity, "I want to be a filmmaker, an American filmmaker, and I just try to make my films." His work is marked by originality, by his own passionate involvement, by memorable acting performances. He's made the films he really wanted to make. And as we have seen tonight, he has the capacity to create scenes of breathtaking complexity, but like all great filmmakers, Scorsese is at his best when, with great simplicity, he allows us to look into the human spirit. Ladies and gentlemen, Martin Scorsese.
Thank you. Well, I don't know. I mean, I keep asking myself, what am I doing up here? How did this happen? I honestly have not quite realized it yet, because this means something very special, to me. And I know I asked that same question back in 1973 when I first came out to Hollywood to live. I felt so privileged and lucky then to be working in Hollywood. I feel even more so tonight to be standing here, even more privileged. When I got the news, I was doing the thing I like to do most. I love to do most, making movies. And this time I was outside a Tibetan palace that we built during a very violent sandstorm in the Moroccan desert. And the news meant a great deal to me, because it's a very special award for me. Since its creation in '73, the AFI Life Achievement Award has represented official recognition and celebration of the very basis of the American film art, that is I think, the golden age of the Hollywood system, honoring as many of its past masters as possible. Many of the past recipients, Ford and Wells and Billy Wilder, and Greg Peck and Lemon, and they made films that I love. In many ways, they shaped me as a person, and for better or for worse, as a filmmaker. So to be in the company of the Hollywood greats I so loved and learned from over the years is a great, great honor. But even though tonight I'm receiving an award they received, that doesn't make me one of them. The truth is, as I watched their films over the years, I wanted to be them. I wanted to be one of them. But that was an impossible goal I set for myself, because it took a number of years of me making movies for me to realize I could never really be part of that group. Because I'm from another time and place, another world altogether. And I reflect my world today just as they reflected their world and the Hollywood of their day in which they worked. You have to understand that many of these guys, they were pioneers. I mean, they created the very grammar of film language. I mean, whatever we do now, they've pretty much done before. And so where do you go from there? See, home, to myself. You go home, basic, that's what I did. I go home, the only place to go, the only place I could go, the only place I could try to remain truthful to myself. I mean, I say try, because it's tricky. In fact, over the past 25 years, I realized that whether I like it or not, I actually am the movies I've made, for better or for worse. However people understand them, they're who I am, that's all I really can be. And they're certainly not to everyone's taste, that's for sure. Like my old parish priest once told me a while back, Father Principe said about my movies, he said, too much Good Friday, not enough Easter Sunday, Marty. But I feel very lucky just to have made the pictures I've made, and lucky to have had a family which supported me from the very beginning. And I've been lucky too with my collaborators over the years, the writers and producers, my editor, DPs, composers, but most especially the actors, many of whom are here tonight and have been so kind tonight. They're such brave actors. I think of the ones I've worked with continually over the years, Joe Pesci, Harvey Keitel, and of course, Bob De Niro. We made 8 pictures together. I mean, they would not be, without these actors, and all of them, the pictures just would not be what they are, if they are anything. I spoke earlier about the old masters. Maybe part of my obsession with preserving films and uncovering lost treasures in the vaults is kind of discovering new old films from the past masters so that their work will never die out, but they'll continue to excite and inspire us. So the way I look at it, since I couldn't have lived and made pictures in the golden age of Hollywood, and the next best thing I can do is to try and make damn sure the work is protected and preserved for the future generations around the world. I talked before about family affairs. The world of movies for me is a family. We need to protect that heritage. And I want to really thank you tonight for making me feel like a member of the family. Thank you.